Hey there fans in Comic Land, it's Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. And first up, we've got the big issue. You probably don't recognize it because it was in a black bag with a big 3 on it, but this is the book on the inside. This is Fantastic Four, number 587 by Jonathan Hickman and Steve Epting. So in this one, on New World, Reed and the Castles figure out how to save the inhabitants of New World before Galactus destroys it. Sue becomes the queen of the tribes of Old Atlantis and must broker peace with Namor. And in a desperate attempt to close the portal to the negative zone and beat back Annihilus's insectoid soldiers, one of the Fantastic Four makes the ultimate sacrifice. So this was a pretty good story. I mean, there's lots of action to follow here. I would actually say so much that the ending was like a little lost for me, or had a little less impact just because there was so much going on, coupled with the fact that it looks like it's really the next issue that you really want to read to see, you know, how everything is going to resolve as far as the death of a member. So overall, I just gotta say it was just okay for a big landmark issue. Certainly I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap it up in the next one. Next up, we've got Age of X Alpha by Mike Carey and Mirko Federici. In this one, Mutantkind is being hunted to extinction, but a group of mutants has taken shelter in Fortress X and is fighting back. In this issue, we learn how Scott, who's very much like Cyclops, so we may as well just call him Cyclops, broke out of a maximum security prison, and how Dr. Rao came to fight for Mutantkind, and about the early stages of the war. So this was a great story. It's really awesome. It's sort of that, what if things were slightly different, the X-Men never existed, and Mutantkind are being hunted out of existence, and they're trying to fight back and just survive in this new environment. It's very interesting, certainly a good start to a big, huge story arc. Not sure where it's going to go from here, but I'm kind of interested as only a casual X-Men reader. Not sure about you big X-Men fans out there. And last but not least, we've got Infestation number 1 of 2 by Dan Abnett, Andy Lanning, and David Mussina. In this one, an army based in Kirtland, New Mexico opens a portal to Dimension Z, which has been opened with dire consequences. A CVO team has been sent to close the portal and destroy the threat, but before they close it, the infestation spreads to 4 other versions of Earth, which leads us to how the story is going to be continued in Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Trek, and Ghostbusters. So, I thought this was a great job by the writers here, because when I first read, you know, the solicitation where I was like, zombies go into the worlds of Transformers and G.I. Joe and Star Trek, I thought that's going to be kind of dumb. But Abnett and Lanning did a really good job of having this make sense and have it be interesting. So I'm actually looking forward to all of the other crossovers, most especially probably the Star Trek and Ghostbuster ones for me, but we'll see. And it's also great that IDW is able to shine a light on some of the lesser read characters or books that some people may not know about out there, like CVO, which is Covert Vampiric Operations. So if you hadn't read that before, then this gives you a good jumping off point for those characters to go back and find them in IDW's other titles. See you next week.